Got my popcorn for the show, it's Tubi time. Cheesy sci-fi flicks and every weird rhyme. Aliens and spaceships made of tinfoil dreams in a cardboard.
Welcome to Tubi Decided, where we watch free movies on Tubi that are B-movie gems, and then we analyze them. Hello, I'm Mike, your host, and I'm with...
Adam.
Ivy.
Oh, collision.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, I should have let you go first. I'm sorry.
And Jerry
I'm the
Mathers
newbie.
as the beaver.
Well, that just goes without saying. All right, so today is, I believe it's our 8th movie. So we've been doing this for 8 episodes, and Vincent, you got to pick. Tell us what movie you picked.
I did. Well, this was a film that I remember seeing on the Sci-Fi channel back before it was, SYFY sci-fi. It's kind of one of those movies that normally they would put on to keep from having dead air, and sometimes you get critically acclaimed stuff on there like Cube, that surreal horror, nihilistic tale. But no, this is not that movie. This is Route 666, starring Lou Diamond Phillips, directed by William Wesley.
Oh, yeah. Anyone want to take a guess at what William Wesley also directed?
I can't imagine.
Sweet facts.
Such gems as Scarecrow's Apollo Z.
What?
Monsters. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know those movies, then you're not ready for Route 666.
I was not.
I feel like I was not ready, and I saw the dang thing before.
Right.
Basically, I ended up rewatching it, and I still wasn't ready for it.
You blocked it out the first time.
So, yeah.
So should we just get right into the plot?
Route 666 got a 4.4 on IMDb, which puts it above Meth Gator, but below Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins.
As it should be.
Yeah, who is making?
I will not argue that.
What?
You know what? That
Audience
is
scores, man.
All right.
You know what? That is completely fair.
Blame the people.
So, our movie opens up with swanky bar jazz. We see a long road of nothing as names appear on the screen. It happens a little too long.
It's a little seizure inducing too. They just jump scare flash on the screen a lot.
Yeah.
The whole movie was seizure inducing.
Yeah.
I don't think they got through a sequence with a steady cam ever.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it.
Yes.
I am surprised that that Tubi didn't put an epilepsy warning at the beginning. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, we cut to a guy who will learn his name is Ray, a.k.a. Fred, played by Stephen Williams, who's reading Route 666, or just normal Route 66 tourist guide. Suddenly, Lou Diamond Phillips and Lori Petty, who's an amazing narrator of books. All right, I can't say that enough.
What books has she narrated?
The Janet Ivanovich books. She's done, One for the Money, 3 to Get Deadly. She's the perfect voice I love her voice. And, I think she was a bright part in this movie. But we'll see how bright. So, Lou and Lori, they come out drunk and in love, kissing. Lori asks for a drink called a Screaming Orgasm from the bartender. This makes Rabbit want to go to the bathroom. Lou follows him into the bathroom. He throws soap in Rabbit's eyes and then handcuffs him. Lou and Lori are revealed that they're federal agents, and they were hunting down Rabbit Deal. they made a deal with him to testify in court. And Rabbit says, no, I'm not going to stay alive. I had to run away. Well, suddenly, a car approaches. Mass shooters come out, and a gunfight starts. Federal-looking guys. So then we cut to like a third group of people. An SUV full of like feds, like fun-loving feds, are just talking trash. We're kind of wondering what are these guys' deal, but we don't know yet. Lou and Rabbit realize that there's a Catalina that they can escape in, so they go and they escape into the Catalina.
Very nice car.
Which is what I assume the budget for the movie was spent on.
It was a very nice,
yeah, probably
a cousin's car. So right then we learn that Lou Diamond is this loose cannon. He's an outsider. The feds are very sus about him, even though he was like a former Navy SEALs, part of the CIA. So they're really kind of just building up this Lou guy. And to this point, we don't even know what his... So
yeah,
Lou Diamond...
for a guy that's like supposed to be a Navy SEAL and like a crack shot, he's very bad at shooting people.
Yeah.
Well,
Like I don't think he successfully shoots anybody in this movie. Like the first guy he kills, he stabs.
Yeah.
Or he sticks his gun like underneath his like body armor to shoot him instead of just hitting him in the head.
Uses the gun as a melee weapon. Yeah. So
well, we don't know, how many of the shots he landed because most of the action sequences were filmed in 15 FPS.
yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
While the camera was shaking profusely.
So you know about the music video from Metallica, the Enter Sandman, where they do that flashing light, where every time the light flashes, it moves like one scene.
yeah, the strobe.
I felt like that was the camera thing they were using. Like this is just an extended Enter Sandman video.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow they pulled off the strobe effect in broad daylight.
So
yeah, somehow Scary Movie had better cinematography than this.
That's crazy. It was like they
Right.
gave Michael Bay one camera.
So Lou Diamond starts getting these weird visions in black and white, where he starts seeing random convicts working on a road. We have no idea what it means, but it freaks him out. Lou and Rabbit, they escaped in the Catalina. I really love the scene where the SUV of like the feds are like giving them cover fire, and they're
car.
they're thugs. Like, don't be a menace to society is like their gun holding abilities. So all of the shooters that were trying to kill Rabbit are dead except for one guy. That guy goes GTA, kills a guy in a Jeep, and steals it.
Yeah, somehow shoots him through the Jeep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know how Jeeps are made.
Somehow nobody can land a shot with a pistol except for this guy taking out a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Well, the driver of the Jeep Wrangler. Yeah.
So, number one trope is that Rabbit won't shut up. He's always complaining. He's kind of doing a Chris Tucker before Chris Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of doing what we always complain about in these B movies. Like, if you can't afford, if you don't have a big budget, you just character complain to fill film. Yeah, and Route 666 did this so they crawled through complaining so other movies could run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rabbit says he has a Stanford degree, and he used it to work for the mob, but he has standards. He says he's not a commie because he didn't want to work for the Russians.
Right, this is like taking place in like 2000. I thought this movie was like from 1995.
Yeah.
It definitely had that feeling. But really, if it was made in 1995, they would definitely try to get Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Diamond Phillips gives off a major Chuck Norris vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, we should point out his acting is a choice. in this movie.
Yes.
It's very puzzling.
Hmm.
He's such a tough guy, and he takes it and he runs with it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah.
It's funny because he was in a show my parents used to watch called Longmire, and he
Right.
played a guy who had like a bar, and he'd answer the phone and go, "It's a beautiful day at the Red Pony, a continual soiree." And I think about that like all the time, like it's a beautiful day at Route 666, a continual soiree.
Oh.
I like that.
Best catchphrase.
So we learn that Rabbit, aka Fred, he has the Route 66 guide, which is their holy grail, which takes them to the courthouse in California. So
It's like a treasure map.
yeah, it's a treasure map, and they confer to this book many times when they need to fill in some things. So we get another flashback where we see those convicts kind of hanging out in the road using a jackhammer. That flashback is like, oh my gosh, Lou Diamond Phillips, what am I seeing here?
Yeah, he's tripping through the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even explain like how he has the power to see convicts
Mhm.
from 1960. Like, and
He's
how
Lou
does that
Diamond
get?
Phillips.
Is that part of his contract? Like,
I don't know.
so they stop at Rattlesnake Ranch, and then they see the entrance to the old road, which Rabbit calls it Route 666.
Mhm.
Cut to Lou having another mining flashback and where Rabbit says, "You're having these flashbacks because the road is cursed. So anyone who drives on this road is cursed," according to Rabbit.
Ooh.
And Lou answers him back with, Rabbit's like, "I have rights, this is illegal." And then Lou says the totally BA line, "I am the government."
That's
Yeah.
right. That's government property. I am the government.
It's-
Above the law.
Mhm.
Jack. Okay, so we learn his name is Jack somewhere in there. I mean, we have the feds that kind of are just dissing his name and saying, "I don't trust this guy." I don't know how they all got together in this one, like the SUV with the feds in it. Are they just like for backup, or did they just want to tag along?
Right.
And why do they hate Lou Diamond Phillips so much? Why do they think he's such a loose cannon?
I mean, he's like a highly like decorated and respected like person in the story they've
Right.
set up. So I don't know why they're all like, "Oh yeah, this hick." Like,
Yeah. All right. So Jack kind of starts talking about his past. He was born around here, very convenient, and his dad is died and buried, but he doesn't know where. Which is that's a choice to have your dad buried and not know the exact location.
Mhm.
Really, maybe he wasn't invited to the
Well,
funeral.
I mean, we find out why he doesn't know.
Yes. It's very convenient exposition for
yeah.
what soon follows.
So, cut back to the SUV that's having an argument about Farrah Fawcett, if she's a supermodel or not. I kept thinking, man, these guys are so dead, and I cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are fodder for the plot.
Right. Cut to a trooper guy. He's heading down the road. He sees that people have trespassed into Route 666, with the cursed road. He decides to pursue down that road. We see that his boss, the trooper's boss, is an old man sheriff, who sounds like a sweet-talking old man who's just, the grandpa you want to meet every Christmas, or don't want to meet. I'm not sure. Yeah. So.
Grandpa who might whittle you something for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take you fishing.
So here's the crazy part. All right, we have the troopers pulling over the guys. But each car kind of leaves at like a different time. So how the trooper is able to pull over all three, like how did they get together if they're all like different times? All the drivers are together. I wrote this down, I can't remember, but someone tells a Santa Claus sex joke. Not sure where that came in, but must have been memorable if I wrote it down.
I think I blocked it out.
Yeah.
The joke was something like, "Who do you think I am, effing Santa Claus?" And then the guy goes, "I think TJ or PJ or whatever." Is like, "No, that'd be Mrs. Claus or whatever."
Yeah, that I have to. Okay, now I remember that. That one got. I blew
That
air
just
out of my nose for that.
yeah, it was very random.
Yeah.
So Lou loves to tell people that he is a federal marshal, and he kind of like stamps his feet, and it's like, and he threatens. He threatens the trooper. He's like, I have 5 handcuffs for your arms and for your tongue. So
Yeah, that was weird.
did anyone try to visualize a handcuff like trying to
Yeah.
arrest a tongue?
Yeah, how would it work? Would it go
Yeah.
around it or would it go through it?
Oh, oh god.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So the deputy, he's like, "Oh man, I got schooled here," so he just drives away. We cut to the killer in the red Jeep. He sees Route 666 and says, "Hey, I'll take this too because I'm really angry that Lou Diamond Phillips shot all my people." It's funny that everyone who sees this lock, so they see Lou Diamond, they don't see Lou Diamond Phillips shoot off the lock, but for some reason, them seeing the gate open and the lock on the floor, they automatically assume this has to be the path he's taken. So, like, everyone has like major deduction skills.
Yeah. Everyone's got Sherlock Holmes, detective powers.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is Lou Diamond Phillip prints on the lock, and the way he held the gun suggests that he is 3 minutes ahead." Back to Rabbit complaining and doing one. He calls Lori, like now Lori and Scully. And then he says he's Rabbit. His name is Rabbit because he's lucky with the ladies. Does anyone else get that symbolism? You got
I
to really
don't.
go deep.
I mean, like lucky, like what? Like a rabbit's foot?
Yes.
But then, rabbits are notoriously promiscuous.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's a thread there.
Yeah.
I took it to mean it's like a rabbit's foot, meaning it's cut off, meaning he doesn't have one.
You see, there's so many layers to this. I mean, I feel like we could teach a class.
This is the kind of beautiful writing we get
Yes.
in Route 666.
Mhm.
Lou Diamond Phillips, after saying how important it is to get to California by sundown, notices a graveyard and stops the car. As Lou,
Ooh, a tourist
That's
attraction.
what blew my mind. He was like, he literally just got done saying, "We need to hurry."
yes, he has more flashbacks about those convicts on the road using a jackhammer. I think his guy PT, they're all yelling at him. They're yelling, "We don't have time." They're able to lock Rabbit to the car. There's tons of opinions and character reveals about how, like, I would say 70% of his lines are about the handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rabbit then makes a Helen Keller joke.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't want to leave me with Helen Keller and the 3 blind mice, which he's talking about the feds, which I was like, sick burn.
Mm. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So Lou approaches a big rock, and it kind of looks like a giant, like, dinosaur egg. I thought, oh, twist. But then he
Evil
goes,
dinosaurs.
yes, then he goes behind the big fake rock and sees 4 neat little gravestones. All this is done to this very cheesy guitar riff. Yeah. He sees John LaRocca, which is his dad's grave. BT, I don't remember those. He starts going off on the history of these graves, as if like this
He
was
knows.
a class that he took
Yeah.
yesterday.
He's very, very passionate about it.
Yeah. So he knows about Miles Hackman, Slater,
If he was like
LaRocca.
3% as invested in being a good cop as he was in that stuff, he would have made it through the movie. Spoilers.
Right. So apparently these guys were 60 serial killers, and because one of them has the same name as Jack LaRocca, Like the Fed gets so angry and starts freaking out about the dates and how that there was a prison road crew accident and that John LaRocca is losing. Out of nowhere, the Fed just starts punching Lou.
Yeah.
He just starts getting angry, and Lou just takes it for no reason. Like, doesn't even block it. Like, you're right, I deserve this.
And it goes on for a while. Like, it keeps cutting back, and they're still, like, having a really bad fist fight. And Lori
Right.
Petty is just watching, like, guys, stop.
Oh,
Oh, I love when she's like, "You guys have guns." Like,
you're doing it all wrong. Okay.
Also, take out the gun and use it.
I
also thought it was really funny when the guy was, like, talking about the gravestones. And he was like, these are all, like, you know, the worst, like, serial killers of the 60s. And he was, like, talking about how horrible they were. And then he got to, like, you know, Jack's dad. And he was like, he robbed a bank and then ended up back. I was like, oh, like, so they weren't all serial killers. You just lied. Like,
yeah. But he's so angry.
Yeah.
He's so angry that he's related.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, why is that a bad thing?
He said earlier he didn't even know his dad. So, like, I don't think. Anyway, that's funny.
All right. So we cut to a couple making out in the SUV. Okay, they're getting pretty much very close to third base in the SUV.
Oh, yeah.
They're not just a random couple. They're federal
it's
agents.
the other agents.
Federal agents, you know, hornier than two high school squirrels, just decide to use the downtime to just, you know, enjoy each other's company. Then it cuts back to the Jeep. We have the guy in the Jeep, and he shoots two feds and starts to go after Rabbit. But then one of the feds is able to stab. Cut to the ghosts. Out of nowhere, we see four ghosts walking down the road. I wonder who those four ghosts represent. They look like muddy work crew zombies.
Yep.
They look like Michael Myers.
Yes.
Yes.
It's four impersonations of Michael Myers is really what the costume was.
Like you know, like they were wearing Michael Myers masks that got left out in the sun.
Yeah.
Bake and shrivel.
Yeah, it's like cakey makeup that just looks like a mask. It's really weird.
Yeah. So the road crew, they grab we learn one of the feds' names is Joe. They grab Joe, they put him in the middle of the road and jackhammer through his guts. And the funny part is, like, one will do the jackhammering and the other watch, which is like so typical of road crew.
Just standing around.
That's got parallels with so many other movie tropes.
Yes.
The one guy
not to
does
be,
the jackhammer thing and everyone else watches.
Yeah.
Like, not to be that guy, but did they have technology like that in the 60s? I don't know.
Yeah, that seemed like a very modern jackhammer to give convicts, no doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's an undead jackhammer.
It's a zombie jackhammer.
Is the jackhammer like a spiritual weapon? Is it an undead weapon?
Yeah. What does it run on?
Yes.
It's clearly magical. It's really funny too because they like drill through his back and then it finally cuts to like them walking away and there's no like, you know, shredded like, you know,
dude,
raw meat looking body.
Yeah.
It's just gone. It's just bloody clothes. Like they made him disappear and like disintegrate. It's just there's nothing there.
Yeah, we can't
was very
afford
funny.
to keep the actor.
Yeah.
So finally, we cut back to the couple still making out. Maybe a little bit curious about what a jackhammering sound is. Screaming. Lou, Lori, and the Fed guys. Okay, we stop beating each other up. They start shooting. So this is 1 out of 60 firing your pistol scenes where they just shoot pointlessly at these undead crew members with zero. So
it was great because half the time there weren't even effects of like bullets leaving the gun.
Yeah.
So they're just like shooting it and like shaking it with their hands and there's nothing coming out of it. It was really funny.
Maybe it doesn't work because you don't have bullets. Lou then, the couple, they get out of the car. They start shooting at the guy with the jackhammer. And for reasons that are unknown, they only hit the jackhammer. Like 5 of their bullets go straight to the jackhammer when clearly, like, he's a large target and his head is exposed. But you know how the feds are. They teach you got to shoot the most metallic thing that the culprit is holding.
Well, you know what they say: 1 in the head, 2 in the chest, 16 in the jackhammer.
Oh yes. So Jack's father tries to strangle him to death, but Jack says, "Dad," and then so Jack steals his name tag. So Lou Diamond Phillips, he throws Lou Diamond Phillips on the ground, steals his name tag, and just kind of walks away saying, "Oh, didn't expect that to happen. What are the odds?" You never wake up in a vengeance mission thinking you're going to have to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So everyone splits up in 3 vehicles. The zombies return to the road where they belong. Did anyone notice that one of the camera shots for Joe getting jackhammered is they put him over glass?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they filmed as
underneath
if it was
them.
Yeah, it was filmed like the concrete was transparent in the
Yeah.
just because they wanted a
Yep.
blood splatter effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I was
All of a
also
sudden, the road's made of
confused-
plexiglass.
Right. I was also confused about the spacing in this scene. It felt like they were simultaneously 800 miles apart from each other, but then they would do like a wide angle shot and they'd be like 2 feet from each other.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
Oh, also the
zombies,
camera is shaking like this entire
Yeah.
scene is in an earthquake.
right?
Yeah, again, at 15 frames per second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the worst slow-mo.
And they go
Mhm.
back into the road by jackhammering a giant hole, and they all jump down like it's Looney Tunes or something. And they just like hop down.
I want to know about these road tunnels that apparently exist.
Are they?
Yeah, that was
Who's
crazy.
their master? Are they taking orders from Wile E. Coyote?
Mm-hmm. All right. So everyone splits up into the vehicles. The couples in the SUV, they narrowly escape. Zombies leave through a hole, a la Wile E. Coyote. The SUV and the Catalina, they're all freaking out. Like, they all have these assumptions about these monsters that are 100%. Like, every time they have, like, a guess about how they operate or what they nail it. That kind of Vegas odds. So, especially Rabbit, who seems like he's got his master's degree, and these 4 guys. Let's see. They stop. The Catalina must have run over 4 cactuses at once because all the tires are slashed.
Yeah,
and
they
so
just look like they're made out of shredded black licorice.
Yeah. That prompts them to stop at a haunted drive-in. I'm saying it's haunted because we know what's going to happen. Which prompts the feds and guys to complain more. And one of them says, "Look, the road is not," which I think was supposed to be we're safe here because the road's not. We cut to Lou, who's sleeping in a cave. I'm not really sure how he got to that point because there's so many characters, and I just assume they all went into cars.
Yeah.
But Lou wakes up, and there's this strange man who offers him tea, and then Lou has a flashback of him driving. He has a flashback of him driving down the road, seeing the stranger in the middle of crashing. Which makes me think that the stranger wanted him to crash just so he could try his peyote tea.
Yeah.
Very aggressive marketing for your tea brand, sir. So Lou is all gashed up. He's offered a peace pipe. The man reveals the old road carries the bloodlines to our past. The spirits want peace back in the land. So we're kind of getting an idea of the bigger picture about Route 666. Lou, in good fashion and good faith, has more flashbacks of state prison. The flashbacks go a little bit further, and we learn that convicts trying to escape while they're digging a hole in the road. Back at the movie drive-in, Rabbit has tape over his mouth. I really like that they did that callback because every line they say to him is so good on you guys. Rabbit gets the tape ripped off, and then he wishes emphysema on one of the one of the more like angrier, aggressive Fed guys. He's a blonde. I think he's the boyfriend of one of the girls. He's having a smoke in the car. He's just kind of hanging his fingers outside the car. Close up on his fingers. Oh no, what's going to happen? Suddenly, a zombie guy shows up and slams his fingers off, and then he gets hammered in the brain. Yep.
Hate when that happens.
Been there.
Yep. So
Like
remember,
just the fingers and the car door part, not the brained with a hammer part.
yeah. Remember, these zombies want peace in the land, guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're on a
And they-
holy mission.
And they just
Yes.
got it from blonde Fed agent. Suddenly, the girlfriend is worried about Nick. I don't know, maybe he's like 10 feet away screaming. Like, that's another, like, the spacing thing. It seems like every time they park, they each, like, go, like, a mile away, equidistant from each other. They thought they were safe because they stepped off the road. So that's what that's what the girlfriend. Suddenly, Lou shows up. Lori starts complaining. We have no food. Our pets' heads are falling off. Which is the only line I could think of to go with that. Rabbit gets handcuffed again to a pole. He sees a scorpion and smashes it. For some reason, the scorpion has jam for blood.
Yeah,
Like-
boysenberry.
Do scorpions like bleed like that?
No,
Video games
There's
have
no-
lied to me.
there's no shot.
I'm about to try some peanut butter and scorpion jam.
It definitely had like veins and a working blood system. And the way the camera kind of lingered on the scorpion, you're like, oh my gosh, it's trying to show you something. Well, it's important to know that the scorpion got crushed on concrete. Okay, this is important to the story.
Yes.
Foreshadowing.
The lore.
Mhm.
So, as the feds and Lou are checking on the SUV, Rabbit stares at a swing set, and suddenly the zombie attacks him from behind. He's able to unearth the pole and run away. But as he's running from, bloody murder, from throat chops him to the ground. Because he's definitely the biggest threat.
Yeah.
And that's when we hear the horrible truth about these monsters is they can come from concrete too, not just the road. So just when you thought it was safe to play in the street. Out of nowhere, there's a ringing telephone. Lou says it's for him, but it's only a dial tone. Okay, question. Did this ringing phone ever get answered, or is it just
No. Oh, I don't know why it was ringing. Like, I don't know how they knew he was there.
are the zombies prank
Yeah.
calling him?
Yeah,
I don't know. Destiny was making a call,
the call
but it
is
couldn't connect.
coming from inside Route
Phone
666.
booth.
All right. Then Lori says, "Hey, you could call 911 on that thing," and Lou is stunned at that genius idea. Lou makes a phone call to 911. Old sheriff answers the phone.
Yeah, is that how 911 works? I don't
The sheriff answers the phone.
I don't think you get dialed into. You get dialed right to the sheriff.
It's like the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah, clearly the budget for law enforcement and emergency services was tapped out.
Right. Well, they had an hour-long deleted scene of them talking to the dispatcher. It had to get cut, though. Let's see. Old sheriff answers the phone. He totally doesn't want to help. Jack is pouring his heart out. We need backup. We're dying out. I think my dad's trying to kill me. And the sheriff's like, that's so stupid. I'm not going to help this guy.
Sounds like a him problem.
What am I, the law?
Yeah, he hangs up and then just continues reading The Telltale Heart
Yes.
in a giant hardback book.
Yep. What Southern sheriffs are known to do
Yeah,
in their downtime.
they love Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
Why would the Telltale Heart be in a giant book? It's a short story.
I just
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's deleted scenes and commentary.
Oh
I
wait,
guess.
no. I know what it is. Large print,
oh
extra large print
Yeah.
for the old
Mhm.
eyes.
Each
Mhm.
page has 7 words. Right. We cut back to Lou. He's staring at a broken movie projector screen, and he's seeing the convicts staring back at him in it. Scary.
Ooh.
He has more flashbacks of the convicts escaping. We get a little bit more story into the flashback. The sheriffs stop the convicts, and their punishment is they now have to dig. But dig what? We'll have to find out. Suddenly the police arrive, and Lou says his famous line, "I didn't order cops." Rabbit complains that he really has to pee, and how bad that he needs to pee so many times.
I love that Lou Diamond Phillips is like, it's my job to stay with you at all times, as if like 2 seconds ago he didn't just abandon him.
Yeah, he abandoned him several times.
Yeah.
Didn't even ride in the same car sometimes. So Lou feels like now's a good time to take Rabbit to the potty. Rabbit wants to know his odds of dating Lori, in which Lou says 10 million to 1. And Lou says, "So you're saying there's a chance?"
Yeah.
This is all callbacks to Dumb and Dumber, folks.
Yeah.
Right.
Greater than zero chance.
So, did we forget about PT? Well, apparently PT fell drunk on a swing set, because for most of his scenes, you see him drinking a flask in the background. So the sheriff goes up to PT, just kind of sees him flat on his back. They want to know how many people are here. And Lori says, it's just us. There's no one else. Definitely someone not going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
The sheriffs start getting violent. Old man sheriff shoots a woman out of the blue. And then he says, "Well, I've been to Nam and we shot lots of people." And so that was his reasons. And then he says Lori has cojones. The cops, PT doesn't want Lori to get stabbed or shot, whatever. So he says, "Oh, they're in the crap." Cops close in on the toilet. They storm in on Rabbit, whose first line is, "I have my hands up, but would you like to put this away?" Talking about his slide being open. Rabbit pretends to be a U.S. Marshal, which is clever, because he carries that energy of professionalism. Lou
Doesn't he
was
still have the handcuffs on him?
Yeah.
Like he's constantly got the handcuffs on. Like, poor guy can't even take a whiz without getting relief from the cuffs.
Yeah. So Lou is hiding out in the toilet, similar to how I was at prom.
I feel that.
Yeah. So now we have all the feds kind of sitting down, dead to rights to these wicked sheriffs. Cut back to Lou, who's doing like a stealth roll in tumbleweeds. a la Napoleon Dynamite. Lori says that one of the sheriffs, she doesn't understand him because she doesn't have the redneck dictionary. Cops try to find Lou, but he shows up in the back of the car and he fires his gun to make it seem like he's been shot. Okay, so there's a lot that happens here. So somehow Lou stealthily gets in the back of the van. The cop's van is able to knock out the cop, get him in there, have him drive off with a gun pointed to his head. They stop for reasons. Lou then he handcuffs the deputy to the road, like to the edge of the car, and the deputy is like, "No, that's where they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me." He knows about the dead, so right on target. The dead guys start coming. The cop can't uncuff himself, and Lou's like, "Oh, sucks to be you." Just so you know, bullets don't work on these guys. Several people empty multiple clips into worthless void.
You can't kill what's already
So many
dead.
wasted tax dollars.
Yes. So the zombies, they kind of break into the deputy with their like Minecraft breaking in to get some. They mine the heck out of the dude, and his blood is like tomato red.
Yeah.
Similar to his scorpion's blood. The police car drives back to the sheriff, or we think it is, but the car is actually empty. But little does he know that Lou surprised. So, in this struggle, somehow PT gets shot in the guts with a shotgun. Jack is able to pin the sheriff down, and he starts asking him questions. He starts asking him questions like this wasn't a setup. He's like, "Where's back? Where's the friends I ordered? Come on. Stop shooting my friends and tell me when those guys are going to come."
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips is a very bad cop.
Yes. And not in that fun way.
Yeah.
All right, so now the dead guys are coming for everyone. We learned that the Gil is the deputy and he's the sheriff's son, because the sheriff's like asking, "What happened to my son?"
You forgot Rabbit's awesome one-liner when he shoots the dude.
Oh, what does he say?
He goes, "There's a new sheriff in town."
Oh man, he can write his ticket to Hollywood. So someone says it's the blood. The blood is making them strong. So now we know that it was that scorpion's human blood that it bled, that got into the concrete, that made the ghosts appear. We have more flashbacks of convicts digging a hole, and we learn that it's their own grave they're digging. A huge steamroller comes in this flashback and buries the guys alive, right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, nothing on top of them.
Yeah.
Like, was the steamroller pushing dirt?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Steamrollers can't bury people; they flatten people.
Yeah. You drive a steamroller into a hole, you've just got a stuck steamroller.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it pushed over the dirt because the dirt was on the far side of the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're looking for is a bulldozer, my guy.
Yeah.
Like you need some actual contractors out here. You need some real road workers, working on this project. Like, what kind of a shoestring operation is this?
Yeah.
Are you forklift certified?
Also,
it's not how you bury convicts.
Right? Also, for a group of notorious murderers, they really went out like punks. Like they're just like, "Oh, we're just gonna stand in this hole and die." Sounds good to me.
Oh man, you can't try it again.
Yeah,
twice.
they, bloodthirsty murderers just decide to accept their fate, like the punks they are. Well, John LaRocca, he wasn't a murderer. Apparently, he's our diamond in the rough kind of like bank robber turned good for his family, and then had bills to pay, so he robbed another bank and got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but he also went out like a punk. I think he died just by getting hit with a shotgun.
Yeah. They just tell him to get in the hole, and then they just hit him in the head.
Yeah.
And then bulldoze them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just lightly tap him on the back with a shotgun and he's dead.
Yeah, when you're in a chain gang, you're facing 20 to life, and you're being told, "Get in the hole." You go, "Okay." Nothing bad can happen from this.
Yeah.
I'm up for parole next week.
I guess he just wants us to be in the shade. Okay. No. Yeah. So, when that flashback ends, we learn it's the sheriff. The sheriff is what made these zombies come alive and want revenge. And they're made a rule where they have to kill anyone who just steps on their road. So PT, he's been shot. He fades into the road. The zombies come back for Sheriff and Lou. More useless shooting. Lou is he gets dragged out to be jackhammered. But then Lou calls for his dad, and the zombies start attacking each other. Or, Lou's zombie dad starts defending him and beating up the other zombies. So there's a standoff between two zombies. Meanwhile, there's a guy with a hammer nail Lou with no luck. The zombies kind of beat up Lou's dad. So Lou's I got to give him some strength. So Lou cuts his own hand, gives the blood to his dad. His dad stands back up, MMA spears a dude. Awful camera shake. I think that's when I started to notice it.
Worst point in the movie for it.
Yeah.
Mm.
The fight is over. Dad kills the last zombie and then returns the dog tag to Lou. He stumbles back into the ground, and I guess he made peace with the land.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? Well, we don't see that shaman guy anymore, so I don't think he was important to any part of the story.
No.
The sheriff is still alive, and he tries to get out of the car, but Rabbit, Lou, and shoot him, like gangland execute him. He's crawling out to the road, and we see one of the wackiest, most poorly edited scenes in the history of cinema. We cut to like a live action steamroller heading towards it. Cut back to the sheriff saying no. Back to the steamroller, which could be miles away.
Yeah.
Back to the sheriff. No, not the steamroller. And then the steamroller becomes like invisible and kills him invisibly.
Yeah, it's like a ghost, like a spiritual thing.
Like
it squashes his soul.
Guys,
He
the steamroller.
metaphorically dies.
Yeah,
It's a
soul
metaphor.
crushing.
Yeah, a metaphor for the massive stroke he must have had.
Yeah, it was really funny because he like gets shot and he's more like really close to like under the vehicle, and then he sees the steamroller coming in his mind, I guess. But his reaction to that is to crawl further into the road and not like under the car.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really funny. Like he's screaming no, but he's crawling towards like its path.
Yeah. And I was thinking, man, that steamroller's gonna hit that car, and I worry the most about that car. So yeah, sheriff dies from ghost steamroller hitting him. And then our heroes, they walk off into the sunset as credits roll.
Crazy.
Well, I guess they're not getting to LA on time.
But the friends they made along the way is the true court martial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Technically, I guess.
I think it's a movie.
I mean, as I'm watching it, I'm like, this is an extended episode of The Outer Limits.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah,
It definitely had that vibe. Like this could have been an episode of, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, just some
Are You
kind
Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, some kind of made-for-TV horror sci-fi anthology series.
Yeah.
But the screenwriter decided to inflate it into his own feature film.
It's trying to be spooky, but it's really silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the guys in the SUV, like the agents, need all of those guys following behind, Rabbit and Jack and Lori. They thought they were in a buddy movie.
Yeah.
Like that was their acting method.
Yeah. Someone told Stephen Williams this was Lethal Weapon 5.
Yes.
He believed it.
Rush Hour 4.
Yes. Yes. Just so you know, John LaRocca, Jack's dad, is played by Ryan Michaels, who plays a thug in Demolition Man.
Oh.
So, a lot of star power here.
Nice.
So, in your honest opinion, what was the most genuine best part of this movie? Like, who deserves the credit as we hand out the award for best person or craft service or direction? We're going to start with the person whose grand idea was it to pick this movie. Vincent, who deserves the credit for this movie?
Well, I could easily give it to Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, he carried this this film in true bargain basement Chuck Norris fashion. The shots of him like staring off into the distance while he has these spooky visions of the past. And it's the best they could do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
With what
Yeah.
they had.
I
The
mean-
budget for this movie, by the way, was $2.3 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can do with a movie with that much money, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably book Lou Diamond Phillips and rent a Catalina.
Lou Diamond Phillips has played the Spectre in the Justice League Crisis on Infinity Earths animated movie. Got to give him credit there.
Mhm.
He plays a voice in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And Ivy, I feel like you should know this. In Werewolves, he plays Dr. Aaron Aranda.
Yeah, that's one of the very opening scene is like this documentary style shot of him like explaining the whole werewolf virus. It's very funny.
I'm sure he was going for funny.
Yeah.
So, Ivy, who deserves the credit for this movie? Who's getting the big bucks, in your opinion?
I'm gonna say whoever like scouted the filming locations. Because honestly, like it did look really cool. Like if I was making a movie, I would make it out there because there was some really cool landscapes and like, set pieces. So that was, a solid choice.
Yeah.
They had a better script.
I feel like they did, utilize, whatever, artifacts from Route 66, were
Right.
available out there.
Yeah.
It was very aesthetic.
I really like that it's based on a biblical number of incompleteness, which is kind of an insult of like a very immoral person, as in 777 is complete. But for this one, it meant that your road crew is so. Adam, who deserves a big paycheck for this movie?
Whoever made the tires somehow work but still look destroyed. Shouts out to that guy or girl. Also, how much did you say that movie was made for?
2.3 mil.
2.3?
Yep.
Yeah, you want
Wow.
to know how much A Real Pain was made for? The Oscar-nominated film.
Mm-hmm.
2.4.
Nah, just like 3 million.
So you're saying if they had $700,000 more dollars, this could have been at the Oscar.
Exactly.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to say Lori Petty because every time I heard her beautiful narrating voice, I thought of better stories than this. She really is a great narrator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And now it's time for our Citizen Kane moment. Vincent, please tell us unironically what this movie brings to the whole of cinema and how cinema deserves to give gratitude for this movie for what it brings.
Well, we should have some gratitude for this movie because they worked with the best that they had, which was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
He is no Chuck Norris. He is no Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's no Dolph Lundgren. But he carried the movie well enough so that we could be there with him when he's having, strange visions of a chain gang being put to death, which happened to include his father. Now, never mind the fact that the factual Route 666, which actually is not Route 666 any longer. It was redesignated to Route 491. It runs north-south, not east-west. So there's definitely a lot of artistic license with this film, not just completely changing compass directions. But I feel like this, again, I'm always a believer that there are no bad movies, just badly written ones. And perhaps it was a moment with the sheriff reading The Telltale Heart that I'm reminded, well, what is The Telltale Heart about? Well, it's a story of guilt. Did the sheriff have a lot of guilt for what he did that, 30, 40 some odd years ago to those prisoners? Maybe, maybe not.
We really don't know.
Yes, and we'll never know because a ghost steamroller took him before we could get that resolution.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
And you reminded us this is a beat for beat translation of The Telltale Heart.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's go back to our review. Is this to be the greatest, to be enjoyed, or to be disposed? Ivy, we'll start with you.
Oh, that's tough. Between enjoyed and disposed, because there were parts in this that I really did like and that made me laugh because they were very entertaining and very silly, goofy. But it was kind of hard to get through. Like it was a little laggy. I guess I'll say enjoyed minus 1 point because I enjoyed it, but not that much.
Yeah. All right, Adam.
Oh boy. The shaky cam, the janky dialogue, the endless rounds of ammo. Not even Lou Diamond Phillips can save this movie. Get it in the trash.
All right.
And
I'm going to
look,
say,
I love Lou Diamond Phillips.
who doesn't, really? I'm going to say this movie's in the purgatory between to be enjoyed and to be disposed. Really wanted to like it based on Lou Diamond and Lori Petty, who are like the star power in this movie, but they couldn't overcome the mundaneness of the plot and the lack of funding to make it what they really wanted to, which was Halloween 7. All right, and finally, the guy whose bright idea was to watch this.
Yes, the man responsible for this this steamroller over hot asphalt. I really wanted to try to enjoy this. I kind of had a little bit of nostalgia glasses when I was combing through Tubi, and I saw this. Like, I remember this movie. This was on Sci-Fi, and then I saw Cube next to it. Thought, oh well, that was also on Sci-Fi. Which one? Well, this one has more. This has more star power, quote unquote, with the two main actors. I see now that my nostalgia has tainted my judgment. I forgot about the shaky cam. I forgot about the lazily written dialogue and character profiles. You can't be a memorable character just by complaining all the time. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
And if the film had better cinematography, and slightly better acting and writing, I would say that this would be a film to be enjoyed. However, again, like we've said before, not even Lou Diamond Phillips and Lori Petty could save it.
Yeah.
So get out of here.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. And to be decided is heading for another round. All next movie. Tee hee. So the world is my oyster. So check back in 2 weeks when we see what I've picked and how it has tortured my crew.
Oh boy.
I'll be holding my breath.
Anywho, I've been Mike.
I'm Adam.
Ivy?
Yeah, we're both holding out to see who goes first.
We did it
Ivy.
again!
Keep doing it.
And I'm Vin, and one day we'll get this right.
And yep. All right. Thank you and have a great night or day. All right. Bye.